been a while since I've been able to get out here. I wanted to get out here tonight and work a little bit more on my truck. Uh, I've got so much stuff in the way. I'm tired of tripping over it and want to get it back together in more of a permanent fashion. So I'll show you what I kind of worked on last week a little bit because I got the front clip on the ground. Uh, and then talk a little bit about what I'd like to get done tonight if I have all the parts. So I pulled the front clip off. I went through and I pulled each one of the headlights and put the plug coming out the back, thinking that would gain me something, but I think I've got to pull the lights again because the turn signal wires don't come out the back. Just the ground and I think it's the ground, the dim, and the high beams. But I've got two wires in there with spades on them, and I don't know. I know I'm going to have to pull them to get to those. Came in, I put the air dam in. That was a joy, getting everything to line up. When you do the Code 504 kit, I don't know if I'll have some issues, but you cut across right here and down to clear the frame horns, and I'm not sure if that's going to be sitting too low, but we shall see. But I got everything to line up, the bolts line up, everything's nice. Now I came in here and I welded shut that brake hole, and now I'm gonna cut a hole there, probably another one over there, and mount my fuse box. But I think it looks okay. Looks better with the light from up here than from down there, but it'll be covered and have a lot of sealer on it. Now I don't know if I did that quite right. I hope I didn't hose myself at all putting that right there, but that's where that fuse box is gonna live. And now I'll start. I kind of figured out where all these wires go, so now I'll figure out where I'm gonna put two holes in my firewall to take my stuff going to the rear. And then I think over here, up in here somewhere, I'll put a hole for what goes out to the engine bay. Maybe I should have left some of those holes available, but that's what I'm gonna do now. I just used some self tappers on this. If you remember, I tried to do a nut zert and that just turned into a nightmare. Busted the bolt off, but you can kind of see it back in there. We'll see if it makes noise or not. I think it's fairly tight-ish in there, but I can't reach my hand in there and see. So that is my wiring harness. Yeah, I got that mounted. I went and drilled a hole and ran the stuff for my rear tail lights and reverse lights, license plate, and gas pump, fuel pump. I put that in, and then I got this wad of wires, and I should have sorted through it because in this wad is my headlights, high-low beam, turn signals, and I really wish I would have put that in with those. So I think I'm gonna wind up sometime sorting through all of this, pulling that out and running it in with that, and that should make this big enough to also fit through a 3/4 inch hole. So that is what I accomplished tonight. Patching the hole, drilling a hole, wishing I would have left a few more holes, I guess. And with that, with all this wire up and out of the way, I think I'll be able to put my dimmer switch back pretty close to where it was originally. So one step closer to putting power to it. And I think I mentioned it, but when I went to weld this, I tried to use this as a ground right here, and this wasn't grounded well enough to the cab. So I believe I need to do some grounding, some bonding, connecting everything together so it will conduct correctly with the negative. I had to use this right here, that bracket I put on the bottom of the steering column to be able to get a ground so I could weld. So I guess that'll be the next step. Get a bunch of wire and start grounding and shorting everything together. But I think it's all looking good and coming together. Thanks again for watching.